I'm Caroline Hendershot, and this is What's Your Why, an in-depth interview series where you get to know the player underneath the helmet at the New York Jets. I sat down with safety Tony Adams, and we talked about how he was raised, his collegiate career at Illinois, and how he made the Jets' 53-man roster as an undrafted free agent. For more exclusive content, make sure you're subscribed to the Jets YouTube channel. All right, TA, born in Belleville, Illinois.
Right.
What do you remember about growing up there?
It was great. It was cool. You know, I played sports. I had great friends. I would go back and forth to my mother's house in Belleville and my father's house in Centerville, Illinois. So growing up was cool, you know what I'm saying? I loved where I grew up.
What would you say some of the things your parents instilled in you growing up?
I'll say just from my mother, ambition, hard work, and like, if you really want something, you gotta go and get it. Like, I seen my mother work really hard. I seen her work late nights, sometimes overnight, where they'll call her in the middle of the night and she'll have to go. And she'll always tell me, like, Tia, if you want something in this world, you gotta go get it. And like, just being around my father, a loving person, a very genuine person, and always taught me like to live life with my heart, you know what I mean? And just seeing how my father, his situation, his living situation, it just made me want to work harder. Like it made me want to work for him, my grandmother who lived with us as well. And just from that, I think that created the man I am today. So like both of those dynamics just created who I am today.
Was there ever a moment growing up where, with the living situation that your dad was in, you kind of realized, I do need to work extra hard to make sure that not only I get out of this, but that I can help my family and get them out of this?
Honestly, like, for me to just say I was stuck in that situation would be an absolute lie, because my mother, like, she stayed in a decent area, but like, it was one situation. I was in high school and I was going to school, and it was pouring down raining, and I seen my dad at the bus stop, about to catch the bus to work. And like, for me, that was like, no, something gotta change. Like, I gotta go harder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my dad have to live like this forever. Like, you know, and that just kind of broke my heart. And at the same time, it made me think, like, you just gotta go even harder. Like, you have an opportunity, like, you gotta go harder.
Why did it break your heart?
Just knowing, like, I had a car, and like my dad was standing at a bus stop in the middle of the rain, and it's thunderstorming, it's pouring down, and like, just to see your parent living like that, having to do something like that, like I respect it because my father was going to work. He was doing what he was having to do. He was being a role model, he had to, but like, just to see my father having to do that, not having his own car, having to stand out in the middle of the rain, like, that broke my heart to see. And I would take him to work in the morning.
So your parents tried to give you everything.
Yes.
When did they introduce you to football?
My mother introduced me to football when I was younger, but I didn't really like it. I actually hated it, so I quitted it. I quit it, but I really picked it up in high school. So high school is when I say it clicked. Like, I see my friends all going out for football. This when I was going to school in St. Louis now. And I seen my friends was going out for football. I was like, let me give it a try. Let's see what'll happen. So, yeah.
Why did you hate it at first?
I don't know, it just was me. I thought I was a hooper, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I thought I was gonna grow. I thought I was gonna be this hooper. I was pretty good at track, so I loved track too. And football just was my thing. I just really didn't like it at all.
So that switch came when you saw your friends going out for the sport. Now, you had an interesting high school experience. You could have gone to maybe a powerhouse, is how I would describe it, of athletics high school, but instead your mom pushed you to a different high school. What was that decision and how did that happen?
Yeah, that was crazy. So my mom and my father, we would talk about it, and like, I didn't like the academics at the school I was about to go to. I really wasn't feeling it. And it's this powerhouse where I'm from, East St. Louis High. And like, my father lived in the district, so I could have went there, but my mother, she always instilled in me, it's not about sports, it's about academics, and your brain gonna take you farther than a ball could. So she was like, no, we going this route. And like, I hated it because like, I wanted to play sports, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to go as far as I can with sports, but my mother always told me the books come first.
So with all of these friends finding football at this new high school, you're balancing these academics that you're putting all of this extra time into. You decide to join the football team. What is your kind of earliest memory of that and what that experience was like?
I had my earliest experience of it, I had a coach, his name Coach McCall, and like everybody was warming up and stuff, getting ready and stuff, and I'm over there playing with my shoe and stuff, and I'm thinking he cool, like, I'm like, man, I don't remember what I exactly said, but I was saying something. He's screaming at me, like, go take a lap, like you late, woo to woo. And I'm like, man, I'm not doing this. Like, I don't got time for this and stuff. So I went home and told my mom, I don't want to play this, man. And she was telling me, whatever you start, you're going to finish. So that kept me in football, and like, the rest is kind of history.
When did playing football at the collegiate level kind of become a reality for you?
I'll say once I got my opportunity, like in high school, to play varsity. So I was third string on the depth chart. And one of my best friends, who was the starting safety, he broke his leg. And then another one of my friends who was backed up behind him broke his wrist. And then I kind of got an opportunity to get out there. And then next thing you know, start getting a couple interceptions. And I was like, I could really play this. Like, I could play this game. But the offers didn't roll in for me until like the end of my junior year. I think I got my first offer on Valentine's Day, junior year.
Who is that from?
Illinois State. Me and my mom, we rode up to Bloomington, Illinois in the middle of a snowstorm just so I could go up there and get the offer. It was a dope experience.
What was happening? I know you were injured a lot during your time in Illinois.
Yes.
Was what was making it so hard for you up there?
It wasn't just the injuries, it was the injuries piled on. So like, I lost a lot growing up. Like a lot of people that's close to me have passed away. And like my first summer there, like I lost like 4 people. That first fall in the summer, I lost like 4 people. And like, when you're losing people you really close with and like you grew up with, or who've lived with you, you shared the same bed with, or watch TV together in the same room, like it's hard. And like, you up here so-called chasing your dreams, but you can't play the game that you fell in love with just because you always injured. And then you got to deal with all the stuff you hearing back at home, and the loved ones you leaving back there that got to handle all that stress and adversity. And I think I lost myself in the midst of that, like in college. Like, it was hard hearing people you grew up with got shot, or hearing someone that you love died from this cause. Or I had a teammate I played with in high school who drowned to death. Like, it was hard. It was hard. And like, every year it was like the deaths would pile on and pile on and pile on. So like, I fell into a depression. I got to a real dark place.
Usually people struggle with just one death of a loved one. How did you find yourself in this depression with all of these deaths? How did you kind of know you had to pull yourself out?
So I always been like a curious person growing up. Like, I always wanted to know more. So like, as this was going on, I understood that nobody could save me. Like, mama can't save me, my daddy can't save me. Like, my coaches at Illinois can't save me, my teammates can't save me. The only person that could save TA is TA. So like, I would lock myself in my room and try to figure this out, like find some meaning out of this. And I speak about this a lot. I had the death that really made me feel like I gotta do something. Like, I had an uncle who lived with me, and I credit a lot to him because, like, growing up, like, I had cousins who would live with me, and they weren't doing the best things. They weren't making the right choices. And my uncle would always preach to me, like, don't be like your cousins, like, don't be like them. And he said something to me, one time he had a stroke and he went to the hospital. I was there with him. He would tell me, TA, don't blink, don't look left and right, because if you do, you're gonna miss it. Referring to like the dream, like referring to getting out of the East St. Louis area, referring to like getting out of here and making some of yourself. So like when he died, that made me want to change everything. So I went to a mentor who was a coach of mine. I was like, I gotta do something different. Like, I hate how my life is. Like, I gotta get out this funk. So I went to him, and that's when I was introduced to God. I was introduced to the Bible, and things started to change after that. Life started to shift a little bit.
And it changed everything for you?
It did, but times were still hard. Like later on, I lost my grandmother, that was hard for me. But having that Bible and having understanding like the Word of God, and it's a quote I live by, James 1:2-4. Consider it all joy, your brothers, when you go through various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its perfect results, so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. So it made me think like all the trials and the testimonies I have, all this pain I'm dealing with is for a greater purpose. It's for God to mold me into His image, to make me this person that's more Christ-like. And I try to see like everything that happened to me in that image. And the next thing that helps me get through it, I try to think about my little cousins and the little kids where I'm from that's gonna have to grow up, and they dealing with friends dying and family members getting shot and killed. Like, I try to think about them and think about, I gotta make it through this situation so I can give my testimony so they can make it through theirs, knowing that I'm no better than them. I'm the same kid that grew up in the same situation as them that made it out, so they definitely could do it.
Still makes you a little emotional to this day.
Yeah, 1,000%, because it means so much to me. That's why I live the way I live life. I call it being light in a world full of darkness. It's just because kids go through so much. They go through so much, and I feel for them. So like, I wanna lead that charge. I wanna show them that it's possible. Like, that's why I live life with passion.
The NFL draft
Right.
comes around.
Right.
And you have gone through your entire collegiate career, missed some games due to injury. What were you hearing going into the draft? Anything?
So at first, I wasn't hearing nothing, like nothing. And it's in my head, I'm like the most versatile DB in this draft. Like, I didn't play all 5 positions in the secondary. Like, I could do it. And like in my head, all I'm thinking is like, all I need is an opportunity. Like, all I need is an opportunity. And the Bible was big in my life. So like, I'm reading the story of David, and it's just giving me more motivation. It's giving me more strength, more persistence. And it made me start thinking, all I need is an opportunity. And I really didn't start hearing stuff till after Pro Day, like after what I did at Pro Day. Then I started hearing from things, and that started changing my mind. Like, maybe I can get an opportunity at this. Like, let's go.
So what did you do at Pro Day that kind of started getting people's attention?
I ran 4.3 some people say 4.4, but it was in between 4.3, 4.4. I jumped 41 and a half, and I broad jumped 10.10, and like, I feel like I killed the drills. And I credit that to like everything I went through before, and being down in Florida training. Like, the guys I was training with, like, it was some great group of guys, and I would walk in there every day thinking like I'm the best and competing with these guys. And ultimately that pushed me to heights like I never thought I could reach. And I did what I did at Pro Day.
So you're coming off this high with Pro Day, right? And then the draft happens. Your name isn't called.
Right.
What are you feeling?
I'm hurt. Like, I'm hurt. I'm more embarrassed. Because everybody who poured into me. I had my mom there. I had my dad there. I had this family, they're called the Mattingly. So when I came back to St. Louis, I lived with them. Like, I stayed in their basement. Like, they didn't charge me, because they know I didn't have the money to, you know what I'm saying? But like, they let me live with them. I have all these great people around me, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get my name called, and it's gonna be a win for us. I have my family there, who we never been through nothing like this before, so this will ultimately be a win. I had my high school head coach there, who was a father figure to me, who never heard nobody's name get called, so I thought I was gonna be the first for him, and it was just more like, I was embarrassed. I wasn't embarrassed for me, because either where it go, I knew I probably would get an opportunity, but for my family, I was embarrassed for them.
Did you almost feel like guilty in a sense because of all these people pouring into you?
Guilty, yes, I did, and I felt like I could have did more. I definitely could have did more, and that just drove me when I came here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, knowing that in college, like, I like to take responsibility for everything that happened in my life. So knowing that I didn't do enough in college ultimately to get drafted, I'll never let that happen again. That would never happen again. And I knew that I would never let my family down. Like, I want to go out to New York. I knew when I made the decision to come out to New York, I was coming out here to prove my family right. I could care less about what the world thought of me, because the world thought I wasn't nothing. Like, you know, I didn't get drafted. I didn't hear my name called. So the world didn't think too much of me. But I had this small group of people in St. Louis who believed in me, who every time I thought I wasn't enough would push me back up and say, let's go. So that's what I was coming out here for.
Do you remember what you said to the Jets coaches over a pre-draft Zoom that really impressed them?
Yeah, so
what did you say?
They called me, and I never heard, like, I wasn't expecting this. Like, they asked me what was my goal, and like, everything that just went on, and like, I was living in St. Louis in my friend's basement. Like, I just felt like I'm not coming back to St. Louis empty-handed. So I told them, I'm coming here to take somebody's job, like, straight like that. And I meant that from the bottom of my heart. Like, I'm coming out to New York, and if I come to New York, I'm coming here to take somebody's job.
So you get this opportunity with the Jets and you go through training camp. What is that experience like, where you're trying to actively take someone's job?
I didn't really think about that. Questions would pop in my head, like, am I good enough? Like, can I play amongst the giants? This is what I'm telling myself and asking myself, and like, it's like each practice, like, I'm proving that. Like, my goal was to go out there embarrassing people, like, to dominate everybody I lined up against, like, and just go out there and play with passion and just go as hard as I can, like, and that was I wanted to embarrass everybody who stepped in front of me, just because, like, I wasn't going back to St. Louis empty-handed. I couldn't go back.
How do you have this, like, unwavering belief in yourself? Like, I know sometimes it gets hard and there's questions that pop in your head, like you said, but I mean, even your Twitter name is I Will Succeed 20. Like, how do you have this just steadfast belief that it will happen for you?
Just like how I grew up and everything I've been through in life. Like, I've been through a lot, so like, and I done got through the worst times. So like, life can only get better. And like, anything they throw at me, like, now, I'm just gonna brush it off and I'm gonna keep going. Like I said, like, the life events I've been through led me to this point, and persistence and resilience is like my last name.
So the end of training camp comes, the 53-man roster is announced. How did you find out that you made the 53-man roster?
Honestly, I don't remember how I made the 53-man. I knew I had a hood on walking through the building. I wasn't trying to get seen because I didn't want them to find me if I got cut or not. I didn't want to get found. I just wanted to stay here. But I knew, I called my people and I was just crying. Like, we did it. Like, I ain't coming back home. Like, you know what I'm saying? And for me, that was a great feeling, knowing like I'm not coming back home empty-handed. Everything I said I was gonna do, like, I stood on it. Like, you know what I mean? And now, Manuel told me, like, you accomplished this goal, so what's next? And I didn't think about that. Like, you could celebrate this a little bit, but now you here and you could get out of it So what's next? What's gonna keep you here now? So it was on to the next thing.
So the next thing is you have a solid season in 2022, but in 2023 you become a starter. You have 3 interceptions, you have 5 PDs, you have 6 tackles for loss, all career highs. So what changed from 2022 to 2023 where you just exploded?
I got the opportunity and I set new goals. Like my first year, my only goals was to make the team and to become a starter by the end of the year. I knocked that off. My second year, they brought competition in. It was to win the starting job. I knocked that off, and I was just out there, you know what I'm saying, loving on the guys, and plays just kind of came to me.
How important is Coach Manuel to your success and your time here with the Jets?
I'm not exaggerating none. I called them, I remember I called one of my homeboys and I was like, dog, I think God placed an angel in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause he just understand me. Like, you know what I'm saying? He done molded me. Like, he worked with me. Like, me and him out there early every day working on what I need to work on. Like I told you, like, I won't lose because I didn't put in enough work, and like, he understand that too. So he out there working with me every day since my rookie year. We do the same thing, and he didn't just help me become a better man. He told me one day, he said the man come first and then the player come. So like, he helped me be a better man, understanding how to become a man. And we talk all the time. Like we just talk about life, and like I just believe God placed an angel in my life to just help me guide the way.
What do you have to do to accomplish those goals?
Be the best version of myself, and like I said, be light in a world full of darkness. Like, love on my teammates, bring that passion, bring that energy, and help them be their best self out there. My goal is to help Quincy Williams be the best Quincy Williams he can, or Sauce Gardner be the best Sauce Gardner he can. I just want to be light, and whatever happens after that, it'll happen.
Amazing, TA. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.